Hey, hey, Omega Chicago Cycling Network. And my God, as you guys can see, I'm on location today. I'm not in my regular studio because I have to come to somebody's studio. All right, true story. So if you're a cyclist in the Chicago proper area, this name will always come up, okay? Because all the groups I've ever in, they've been saying, hey, have you getting a bike fitting? And I'm like, a bike fitting, what is that? And every time on any group I'm in, I talk about bike fitting, this person's name always come up. Okay. She's like famous Amos in town. Like everybody that talks about bike fitting, like her name is on the number one spot. And because of that, a lot of people I'm connected to in cycling know of her. Right before I came this morning, somebody was like, hey, have you interviewed this one person? I was like, I'm actually going to interview her today. And I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, yeah, I know this person for like years upon years now. And that person, of course, is Kevin Carter from Misfits, which I interviewed already on the channel. So you guys probably have seen him. And again, we're all connected. And this is why I think Chicago is just a beautiful place for cycling. We have amazing people here, amazing connection, people that go way back, like long before my time. But it just shows you, again, how this sport has connected us and just continue to make Chicago a much beautiful, beautiful place to be in. Again, as I said before, we become family over time, and it's just amazing to be here. And yeah, it is cold outside. It's like maybe like 22 degrees outside. It feels like 12 degrees, but it is what it is, and we're gonna just keep on doing what we're doing because once it warms up, everybody gonna be outside. I want to see each other, wave to each other. It's gonna be fantastic. So again, guys, thank you for supporting the movement, subscribing to the channel, spreading the word. We've got more amazing people and things to come in the future. So it's going to keep on going again. And guys, and again, I just can't thank you guys enough for all the support and all the people who have taken their time out of their busy schedule to sit down and share their story and just kind of say, hey, this is why Chicago is just beautiful. We have all these different people and there's different things in Chicago that make it awesome. So anyway, I think I've said enough. And I think she wanted to introduce herself, and we're going to go from there. So please introduce yourself, and let's take it from there.
Hello, welcome. My name is Ann Barnes, also known as abbikefit.com. How did I get here? I moved to Chicago in the late 80s on an internship out of college. I had started riding in grad school, right?
Gotcha.
And had a classmate whose parents were true hippies. They didn't own a car. And she would ride from Athens, Ohio, back to Dayton in between semesters.
Wow.
Right? So I had no idea you could even do that, right? So from there, I got to riding, moved to Chicago. My brother lived here at the time, too. So that was a livable city. And I just fell into the crowd of people riding. Up and down the lakefront. In fact, some of the first people I met were down at the point, which way you heading today? And just kind of kept going from there. The more you ride, started into racing. One thing led to another. Ended up working in a bike shop in the early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
I quit my career for the second time and worked retail at Turin Bicycle when it was up in Evanston. And I learned from all those people. And I think part of the reason I became a bike fitter was because I wasn't the fastest girl. I wasn't the fastest, so I wanted to be smarter. So I kind of, learning about, training and coaching, nutrition and setup. And I always had really, really good advice from, club members, team leaders. I used to race for Alberto Sport. Alberto Bustamante and now Tony up in Wilmette. So always had good advice, and I was still slow.
Slow is relative,
but I had fun racing, and I raced on the road, on the track, cyclocross, mountain bike.
Oh, you done it all! I didn't realize that.
Well, there weren't enough women around then to so we needed to do everything to have a field. I'm so jealous nowadays of 15, 30 women showing up at a race when it used to be like 3.
So you would always get like third or second or first, basically.
I was always fifth. I could never figure that out. No, I'm just kidding. But I tell you, I went back to Athens, Ohio for a crit one year. And I think it was maybe the second year I was racing, so still 4. And it was a combined field. And they introduced Marion Berglund racing with us, who was an Olympic champion. I'm like, well, what am I doing?
Where she sandbagging? I don't know.
It was ridiculous. But anyway, I still had a good time, right? So, like I said, one thing led to another, working at the shop, left that shop, went to another shop, got very, very focused into fitting. Especially it was a multi-sport store called Running Away Multi-Sport. Mm-hmm. So I was just doing bike fitting. So I lost track, but at least 300 bike fits in a year.
Wow.
Right? That's all I did. 6-7 days a week.
And that's about, how many do a year now?
Not quite that many, but it's still a couple hundred. Wow. So it's a full-time job. This is all I do, besides trying to take care of my husband and 2 cats. That's why I have a studio.
Gotcha.
It took me a while. I mean, I've been in this location for 7 years now. So there's a little bit of a gap between the last shop, Live Grit, which was the most awesome place to work, that closed 2018. So it took me a little while to find a good spot.
So you talk about a good spot. So for anybody who don't know where the location is, where exactly is your shop?
I am right at Halsted and Chicago Avenue, which is impossible to get to right now because of all the construction for the Bally's Casino. But I think it's really well located. If you're coming from up north, I get people coming all the way from Indiana, north side, south side, west side, all over town.
And it's 700 Green?
700 North Green.
Not Green.
Green. So Green is a north-south street, and it kind of dead ends at Chicago Avenue. So when they put the overpass back in and the new bridge in Chicago Avenue, it'll be a lot easier to get here.
All right. I really hope so, because I want you guys to come and check her out if you haven't yet. I can bet there's many people in Chicago who have actually bike fitted before. At some point, you might end up bike fitting, but I'm kind of still stubborn a little bit. Right, I just move things on my bike, and it feels good. I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm ready. Let's go.
Sure. And let's just say, I think my rules are nothing should ever hurt or go numb.
So far, no numbing, no hurting.
Right.
Other than when I'm biking really fast and some of those rides, and then it hurts.
So we can anticipate fatigue.
Yeah,
and I think I've come up with a sort of a Venn diagram to encapsulate bike fit. Let's just say it's time, distance, and heat. And where those things meet, that's where you have problems. So if you can ride for an hour and I'm fine, but if I double my distance, now something hurts. So time and distance. If you change one or the other, you may have a problem. So living where we live, we kind of ride the same route every day. That 35-mile up to Lake Bluff and back, or wherever, the group ride, you have sort of I know I'm going to make that light kind of feeling. But then when you get into a race, now it's somebody else's agenda. Heat can mean intensity as well as physical heat. So I've always anecdotally said more people need a bike fit in July and August because there is something about 100% humidity.
So that will affect your bike fit also.
Correct.
So my winter fitting might actually change in the summertime.
Sure.
Oh, I never thought of that.
So and everybody's different. So it could be that you've gotten stronger and leaner by the time you get to July.
Well, that's the plan.
Or the opposite, right? Or you just get tired, right? So I think one of the things I like to encourage people is to take care of themselves. So I've certainly dealt with very intense riders who have a goal, like to make it to nationals or Ironman Madison, and we're 2 weeks out and something hurts.
2 weeks.
Right. I'm 2 weeks away from an event and I'm not feeling as good as I was. Well, like I said, it's July. You're tired. Go get a massage. Sit inside some air conditioning for a while. Take some time off. Right. Nobody can take time off. Right. So, I mean, but on the other hand, I do get really busy about this time of the year. February, March in particular, where people are like, when was it, 50, 60 degrees last week?
Yeah, like a couple of days ago. Yeah. And I
So-
was outside acting crazy.
Right.
And now it's back down to like, and I'm like, wait a minute, I have to go back inside and
Yep.
retrain my brain how to ride and Zwift again. Come on.
So we like to think that we carry that fitness through, or when we jump off the trainer that now I'm going to be better, but it might have been that you're just getting adjusted.
Gotcha.
Right. So
Gotcha.
some people are fine. Maybe it's because you're young and you can jump on anything, and
No, it's because I look young.
or flexibility, or just, I mean, you're really lean and you're really fit. You don't need to lose 20 pounds.
It's just it's a cover up.
It's a cover-up.
It's a cover up.
Or everybody's different. So the fitting process is more about that rider becoming smarter about themselves. And maybe I'm going to ask them, are you really comfortable at your feet, seat, and hands?
Gotcha.
And so we get into and I will say, are you sure about that? So when you think about heat, time, distance, I'm fine for an hour and a half, but then, I got to stretch, at mile 55.
Gotcha.
Or I'm glad I don't have to go further than Lake Bluff today. If I can make it to the turnaround, I'm good.
I'm good, right?
Or I can't ride the next day. I'm too tired.
But plus here for the heat thing, because we keep on riding and stopping and standing off, getting the bike and back and on. So maybe is that a big factor?
It is a big factor. Yeah. I've experienced it myself. I think that's what makes me a good fitter, is that I've experienced the dumb things myself.
So you can relate to someone
right?
else.
Like suddenly, like, why do my hands hurt? Oh, it's because my handlebars shifted down in the clamp. Duh. Right.
Gotcha.
But it took me, like a month.
So some things I learned, which I didn't realize until somebody came on the show. I was like, oh, your saddle is tilted a little bit forward. I'm like, yeah, because if it's tilted forward, which is something I just tried because my bike seat again is a little bit like this way, not like this way, but and the Mike Lanyon side was like, oh, you see it's tilted a little bit higher. He's like, yeah, because when you do that, you push a little bit backward on the saddle, so you take off the pressure off your hand. I never thought of that before, but I just did it by myself because that felt good for
right.
me.
So you have a good intuition,
Yeah,
or you have a way to avoid pain, right? So we're looking for balance,
right.
You're the weight on the system. So when we go through a fitting process, especially on a machine that moves up and down, fore and aft underneath you, it's a test. Like, is it more weight on the hands now, or is it less weight on the hands? What's the shape of the saddle?
Exactly. And
right? If it's in such a
subconsciously
position that then it makes you ride, you can't ride in one position because the way the saddle is tilted, then we question that saddle.
So I think what I did, my friends always joke with me because I always had a scientific approach to things because I always
because you are a scientist.
Exactly, it's in my nature. A lot of troubleshooting,
Sure,
with my setup and everything
Sure.
until I finally all right, this is it. So that's one of the reasons why my friends were like, wait, saddle is like, I'm like, that's what's worked for me, and it works for me, and then
right,
no issues.
And I would say, again, I think I know I've been spoiled by the people who have guided me and coached me over the years when I didn't know anything. I'm sure I know when I first came here and was riding and racing, I had a bike that was too big. And then maybe the second bike I bought.
What was too big for you back then?
It was too long.
Oh, the bike, the stem was too long, or
The whole frame.
The whole frame was
The whole
too
frame
big?
was too long.
Wow.
Right. So not even understanding that it affected how I rode. Right. And I still think I got the next bike. It was still a little too long, but I had a shorter stem. Right. So I still adapted to the setup. But when I got a different bike with a different dimensions,
And you could feel the difference.
I could feel a difference. So that's how like I said, I've been spoiled because I had really good advice. I can't say that I've never had bad advice, but I've tried things and go, yeah, that doesn't work for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So we've been talking about bike. We're going to get back to the bike fitting story and everything, but really want to get back to kind of get to know you, to the nitty gritty of things. So you say you changed career 2 times?
Yeah.
So how did you get into bike fitting? Like, okay, this is what I want to do versus something else. Like, what was the click?
Yeah. I mean, I think that cycling has always been a passion for me. You know, as a kid growing up, I wasn't the girl playing with dolls. I have two older brothers, so I was always out there playing baseball with them or riding my bike through the mud. I'm pretty sure Wendy Smith and Amy Brown and I invented mountain biking in like 1972. You know, there was a little hill from the elementary school, and you went down the hill across the baseball field, and there was a little bridge, and like you had to get the whole shot. So it was like, which one of us is gonna?
So you guys were the Stranger Things crew.
Yes.
The original.
Yeah, and so we were always, climbing trees and getting muddy. But I do distinctly remember, like, growing up with ABC Wild World of Sports, and I remember they had something about the Tour of France one year, and I was just blown away. And then some other channel had a story, a little film about Paris-Roubaix. Mind blown. I was like, oh my God. This is, I immediately jump on my little bike and run through the mud puddles, right? and so, again, I got into riding distance and for pleasure, and not until grad school, really.
Grad school.
Yeah.
What did you do? What school you went to? What grad?
Talk about the nitty gritty. I grew up in the arts. I was a theater major. From high school, I worked professionally up until, 2004. So undergrad, a BFA, and then grad school, MFA in theater production design, film history and production, and business management.
That's a lot. So
I was all on the technical side of the theater.
Gotcha.
So lighting design, production management, a little bit of, electrical stuff. And so I came here on an internship, believe it or not, at the Lyric Opera, which is the most amazing place I've ever been.
Who knew that?
It's the most amazing cultural institution in this town. And it's just, go to the opera tour. You can tour backstage and then go see a show. Because I think the backstage stuff is more exciting than the show sometimes.
I did go. My son went to Columbia College or downtown and for tour, and we went in some of the back area. I'm like, this is really awesome.
Yes.
I was intrigued by the stage and things look much bigger. Some things look smaller, and then they have all these costume rooms. I thought that's huge. Whatever you want, whatever prop you want, is actually in the room and stuff, and lighting stuff. And I'm like,
and again, awesome. And that's part of the reason I came to Chicago, is because it has such a major theater history and theater community. I was on staff at the Goodman for 6 years in production office. Another fantastic experience. I worked at Northlight briefly. I worked almost in every theater except Steppenwolf, except for I worked one night when the Late Show with David Letterman came to town, and they did the show at Steppenwolf on tour.
Gotcha.
So that was me hanging from the rafters.
Then from that, at that point you're biking then too.
Yeah, all during that time I was racing bikes, riding my fixie down to work, down on the lakefront when nobody was on the lakefront. I think that
lakefront wasn't even paved then.
Yes. It was just a goat path. Well, a lot of things have changed, but there weren't that many bike commuters let's say in the late 80s, early 90s. I would say even runners, and so it's nice to see so many more people on bikes in the city, not racing, just riding for utility or for exercise.
Right.
I might be running a show at night and then get up in the morning and train, and then ride to work, ride home at 11 o'clock at night or something like that. So that was just the way you got around.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
And there's, you're not waiting for the bus, you're not waiting for the train, you're not paying for parking, all those things.
So and then you said because you mentioned that you did crits and all sort of different. Yeah. So what are all those different type of races you did before you got into bike fitting? What was your favorite? Do you have any favorite?
I still love the track. The track was that speed work component of your training week, right? So you would race Thursday nights, maybe Friday would be an easy day, then you'd race Saturday, Sunday. Then Monday would be an easy day, Tuesday, Wednesday would be some road rides or intervals or whatever, and then track night would be your short, sharp, and fast speed work night. Again, I was never that fast. But I loved it, and again, you're sitting around and you're with people,
you having
social. It's a great time.
Mental health, all the good stuff.
Absolutely, and you don't have to worry about cars and stoplights. Everybody's turning left. Nobody's got brakes. It's awesome.
Who need brakes? Come on.
And I was amazed. I went up there like maybe 2 years ago just as a spectator.
This is in
Northbrook. You got to go. It's the best place.
Have you ever gone to the one that's down south a little bit? That's I heard it's in bad shape right now.
I don't
in South Chicago. It's not there anymore. But
I don't think it's there anymore. Yeah, I was there a couple times. Been up to Kenosha. I think the Detroit track looks fantastic.
Something crazy. I just learned about the Kenosha track yesterday.
Oh,
Washington
Bowl.
Washington Bowl. I just learned
the
about
oldest track in the United States, I think.
Yes, because everything is about timing. It opened in 1927.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. Thank you, Joshua.
You,
Joshua. Yeah. Oldest, 1927.
Yeah. So again, another great community up there in Kenosha, Milwaukee, and there's just so much cycling community in the Great Lakes, right? Chicago and Milwaukee, we both had 6-day races back in the 20s and 30s. In fact, United Center, which was not this United Center, but Chicago Stadium that was in that lot, that was built for track racing, not for basketball.
Did not know that.
There you go.
Did you guys know that?
In fact, the Boulevard system, there are a series of parks that are connected to the Boulevard system that if you look at them, they are an oval because that was for bike racing. So they'd be cinder track or grass track bike racing. And then a guy could ride his bike from one track to the next, from Humboldt Park to, what's the one on the south side? And we used to race there all the time. So if you look at the map of the city, you can see the vestiges of these old tracks.
Wow. And
then the guys would ride up to Kenosha to race at Kenosha from Chicago.
And then come back.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. How you made a living or avoided having a real job.
Well, that was a real job.
I think is why you get into the bike industry. Is to avoid having a real job.
You're the first one to say. I think Ben O'Malley said that the ones he had to get a real job, so he had to stop cycling as much. And
it happens, or you've had children, women coming back into the sport after having kids, or men. You see such a big spike of the 40 plus. That used to be Cat 3s.
And they come
back. They got married, had kids.
Take a break.
And then they come back as masters. I'm like, where'd this guy come from?
He's here.
Oh my God.
Gotcha.
So I've certainly seen the ages go with that. And gosh, now we're seeing kids that were juniors when I was racing who are now
masters.
Oh, no, you're killing me. But it's great.
But it's good. But it's good to watch these kids progress, right? You're like,
it is.
I remember when you were just like this big, and now look at you doing.
It is
doing your magical stuff now.
I remember years and years ago, I was racing with a lady. Oh my God, I just banked on her name, but she didn't live here in the city, so we were always just sort of meeting up at races in Dixon, Illinois. And I remember going around, and there were these kids on the course who were yelling, "Go, go!" And I heard them say, "Go, Grandma!" And I'm like, did you hear what he just said? She's like, no, that really is my grandchild. I'm like, no. No. So anyway, yeah.
You said Dixon, Illinois.
Yeah, there was
because I know Dixon very well because my wife is structured from Sterling.
Oh, there was a race there. Yeah,
which is close to Rock Falls. So
Podunk. Cornfield town.
Yeah, I know those areas very, very well because a friend of mine who owns Mead's bike shop, Bryce Mead.
Oh, right.
Mead's bike. He's from there.
That's
and
right.
He's ride pro for Jelly Belly, and I
Yeah,
actually know
that's
that
right.
guy. I know the guy very, very well.
So, I mean, you know, in the 90s, that would be the 1990s, mind you, not the 1890s. There was the Tour of Illinois. There was Super Week, which is now Tour of America's Dairyland, right? So you could race every weekend.
That's what Bryce used to make his money back then, back in the days, man.
Mid-March, when it was snowing, through September, every weekend. So sometimes you're like, oh, can I go here or go there? Or which one do I have to drive the least amount, right? Like I don't want to drive 3 hours to race half an hour.
Well, if the money was right, I think Bryce would do it because he said they used to like get a few of them together, and they race in Wisconsin, then they go to Chicago, and then they go to Indiana/Michigan and do the races.
Yep.
And the pots were pretty big back then.
Back in the day.
Now it was a T-shirt or jersey or something like that. But back then,
we used to have Downers Grove, which was a national criterium championship.
I think there's a race, but there used to be like $35,000 a pot for the winner.
Yep.
But now. Oh, you can't make that nowhere. It's different.
It's hard. It's hard. But again, the sport is always evolving and changing. We've got gravel, which has brought in a whole new fresh breeze of people and all kinds of people and all kinds of bikes, and it's more egalitarian and more
people to fit on the bikes.
A little bit, but you know, different outcomes, or you know, it takes more wattage to go as fast on dirt. You have to push harder. Oh no! But we're not going back to 23C tires.
I hope not. So I was talking with Patrick Leland today, and apparently 28s is not a thing anymore. No. It's 30 and 32. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I just switched over to 28s from 25.
But tubeless, right?
I'm still running tubes.
Yeah, but you could do latex and get a nice smooth ride, or TPUs.
I'm doing TPU. It's all about TPU now. I can take about a dozen TPU in my pocket versus taking one.
I know, one giant.
Isn't that crazy? We're evolving so fast,
right? And so the technology is gotten to the point where, I mean, tubeless has been on the mountain bike side for over a decade, so now the bikes have gotten bigger, you know, to accept a fatter tire,
you know, because of disc brake now versus
disc brake and all kinds of good things, so new types of bikes or new people. They don't know that you can literally move the shift lever on the bar. Right? We're going to get to that because I think I'm blocking the view right now so we can see the bike, and it might be too high. I'm not sure. That's okay.
But I'm going to lower myself in a couple of minutes. I'm going to get into some bike fitting stuff, and we're going to hear the technicality of all the cool stuff that she do. By the way, what's the name of your two cats?
What's what?
The name of your two cats. What's the name?
Oh, my two cats are Formula One cats. My husband's really big into Formula One. Imola, she's the tabby, and Monza is the tortie. Because that was our last big trip before COVID hit. We went to Italy.
To watch
we went to watch the Giro di Lombardia. And so we flew into Milan, went up to Brescia area, watched the Giro Lombardy, and then kind of hung around for a week.
Did you take a bike?
I did not that trip.
Did you rent a bike?
I should have, but I didn't. But we went to the Madonna del Gisalo Museum, which was amazing. Got to go to the Bianchi factory, which was also kind of cool because their museum is really cool. We went to my friends at SMP Saddle. They have their factory, almost towards Venice in Padua. So that's the other cool thing about being in the industry. When you go on vacation, you go visit cool bike shops or factories. Or brands.
Did you ever go to Trek Factory in Wisconsin?
Oh yeah. When they were, making bikes there.
Because they don't really make bikes there. They assemble them there. Yeah,
there's a lot of assembly there. There's still R&D there. I think they still do paint there. You know, that Project One paint. Yeah, that was really cool. Like to see the carbon layup and all that. How it's made, you know, like that TV show, right?
All of the layers and layers.
Exactly.
And baking and whatever they do.
Years ago, I went to the Ridley factory. Kind of the same thing. They're doing a lot of assembly and they're peeling off the decals and putting them on the frames like in one movement. It's like, wow, that's amazing. The Sepine Spoke Factory, which was way more cool than you can imagine.
Spoke is cool.
A spoke, yeah. How? So it's amazing that your life depends on a spoke, right?
Yeah.
Literally.
If one break or two break,
right. And so to turn a giant spool of wire.
Yeah, it always fascinates me, like all those little things can hold up a 300-pound person. It amazes me. Just little things.
Well, you're suspended from the
correct, but it was still amazing because you think like one they should break, but they don't because they're rolling. It's pretty amazing.
Well, there's this huge line tension, where that wire goes through an extruder and it gets compressed and shaped, and then
it's amazing.
Big stamps that they stamp the J bend or the arrow spokes.
Which is a new thing now, carbon and air and all sorts of different.
Yeah, they just smash the spoke flat in a little mold, right?
Wow. I used to get to see all that stuff where you were...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So they were outside of Antwerp, as I believe.
So how often do you get to go to like a bike fitting? Do you have like bike fitting conventions and different things?
Oh, yeah. Actually, just about 3 weeks ago, we had the Chicago Area Bicycle Dealers Association called CABDA. It's sort of it's an annual bike dealers trade show. And so there will be bike fitting seminars those 2 days.
Gotcha.
So I had a bunch of my friends come and do presentations. I did a presentation.
How was that?
On different topics.
Gotcha. What was your topic?
My topic was difficult biomechanical presentations in bike fitting.
That sounds complicated.
So when someone shows up, the best example maybe was the gentleman who had a really bad accident on his Harley Davidson, but he wanted to keep his leg, which wasn't really attached anymore. And so he had an enormous amount of hardware. Literally, you could see it sticking through the skin of his lower limb being held together to his upper limb. So he had some things to deal with. Plus, the rest of his body was smashed up too.
Wow.
So, hey, not bad. He's still riding. He doesn't do the motorcycle anymore, but
he's still on his bike.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then you guys will come in and help him.
Broke his pelvis in 3 or 4 places. He was laid up for months. Got back on the bike.
Wow.
So I'm just here to help him be healthy and be happy,
Gotcha. All right. So we're going to have some very hard questions right now.
Okay.
But for those hard questions, I probably need to lower my seat a little bit. So I'm a little bit low, guys. Again, we just improv here. But we need to see this beautiful bike set up in the background, and we're going to ask some questions. So again, I'm going to just flip my seat.
Oh, smart.
Real quick.
You smart.
Hi, I'm still here.
It's nice to be taller than you.
She's actually taller than me in real life. Don't.
Yeah. I have to sit down so everybody can talk to me.
Yeah. So in the bike fitting world of things, question is, if I go to a bike shop and I said I want a fitting, and I take my same bike and I go to you and I go to somebody else who use fancy stuff, how close are the fitting from bike shop, from fitter to fitter?
Oh, it can be very close. And let's just say when we go to school, which can be a 2 to 3 day seminar, kind of an intensive thing, and then after you have fit 1,000 people, we're trained to look at patterns.
Gotcha.
And we're trained to not have outliers. In the famous words of Dan Emfield, we don't like outliers. So we want everyone to kind of come to a consensus on their bike. And so when all of us bike fitters worldwide can look at someone on a bike and say, yeah, that's pretty good.
Gotcha.
Right? In fact, I remember being at Slow Twitch out in California years ago with a friend of mine and 3 or 4 other bike fitters in for this seminar. And Dan had somebody on the machine. He was running the saddle height up. And he said, just tell me when to stop. And we're all sitting there on the couch with a coffee, and all of us to a person at the same time said, right there.
Wow. When you're a pro, you're a pro.
And then it's just like, and he was like, how do you know? Like, what made you, so that was part of the discussion of what is the eye, right? How do you develop an eye? And that's something that all of us, I call it the bike fit cabal. We talk about that, like, how do you know it's right? Well, yes, you measure and mark 10,000 times, right? To know you should be at that angle, right?
Gotcha.
Some people are very driven by angles, or they'll have motion capture, and you have a computer that measures that angle.
But you don't use any computers and all this motion capture stuff.
I have used it, and then I don't use it anymore. It is expensive, but I also think for me it was just a little distracting, and maybe it's because I'm just old school, where I can literally go right there. So I do a lot of postural cueing with people on the bike, but I know that I worked with a gentleman a couple years ago doing PvP, and then he went to see another fitter. I was like, "Ooh, did you change anything?" He's like, "No." So I think it's good that we don't come up with different answers. Or crazy differences, right? But if, let's say, Jake got fit in 2019, something might change now that it's 2026.
Correct.
Right? It could be age, it could be weight, it could be any number of things. With women, it's menopause. You can see some really big changes in a short period of time. So it's always good news or bad news.
I never thought that even menopause would affect bike fitting.
Yes, it does. And I will say that almost every human, depending on your age, your height will change throughout the day.
Correct.
Up to 2 centimeters.
Yep.
Now, if you're really young, like not puberty, but under the age of 22, you can see compression up to 3 or 4 centimeters.
Technically, whenever they're going to get your height, they measure your height 2 times in the morning and in the evening. Then that's the average. And that's your true height.
Right.
Because when you get up, your spine is a stretch.
Right.
Yeah.
Gravity.
Yeah.
Slouching.
Yeah.
Posture. Life in front of computers. So yes, you can see that sort of variance. On the other hand, one of my best mentors, his name is Happy Friedman. He's the kind of guy that I can call with a problem, and he will say, "Have you thought about the liver?" So I've had to learn a lot after I learned a little bit. And so the more people you get exposed to, or types of riding, like I don't deal with a lot of people that climb mountains around here in Chicago. So there's some little variances. That's why we like to talk to people that live in different places.
Gotcha.
We see different things. Like some people, I never have people with numb hands, right? Or whatever. So understanding the constituency that you're working with, whether it's age or your location, the type of roads you're on. Our roads are terrible. So tire
She
pressure.
didn't say that. In Chicago, the roads are amazing.
I had this discussion a number of years ago with my favorite Italian tire brand, Vittoria. And I said, does this come in a 28? He's like, oh, no, not for racing. I'm like, on our streets?
We need 100.
So in Italy, I mean, you've seen the streets, the roads, the Giro d'Italia, they're like freshly paved, right? Yeah. So yes, you can run 110 PSI on a 23 or 24. But around here, it's like, no, I'm racing in 25s.
Which I don't think anybody racing 25s anymore. It's like either like 28 or like 32 because of cornering and stuff. Like that's what everybody is riding now. Like,
right, but I mean, back in the day, skinny,
yes.
high pressure was how you went fast. But it was also because that was all that was available. And especially with clinchers.
And we didn't understand contact ratio and all these different things.
No.
We didn't understand all
I mean, I always raced on tubulars. I trained on clinchers, raced on tubulars. Never got a flat, even on the road races. But I don't think I would race my tubulars down Michigan Avenue.
The rolling resistance, they're so bad now and all these different things. Yeah.
But cyclocross, I rode tubulars. It was way better than riding a clincher.
Gotcha.
So the next best thing is tubeless. It's not as good as tubular, I think, but that's just me because I'm an old fuddy-duddy.
Fuddy-duddy. I've not heard the word in a long time.
But I mean, I like to be a curmudgeon. Like I was the last person to get into clipless pedals. I was going to be Sean Kelly forever with toe clip and strap. I was the last person to think that a carbon front fork
would make a difference.
What was I thinking?
It's kind of the liver thing, right? Like I never thought about it.
No,
exactly.
right. And so you can kind of get stuck in the way it is. Like, I like the way this feels. Like, maybe you should try this.
And you'd be like,
right?
oh, wow. Yeah, I can actually feel it.
So sometimes just in a bike fit, it isn't about the position. It's how much do you weigh? I'm 140 pounds. What kind of tire pressure are you running? 120? I'm like, oh my God, no. That's why everything hurts. So the consultation isn't necessarily just about the bike setup. It's how you're using it.
Gotcha.
How do you feel when you're cornering or descending, or how do you feel going around the bend?
Gotcha.
Well,
okay, guys. So we have like if you guys can see it, but we have like this is like what I want the setup look like for bike fitting. I hope I'm still in the shot. But can you walk us through like some of the things that you do when you're fitting?
Sure. Yeah. I call this the rocket launcher. This is kind of one of the standard bike fitting tools, bike fit machine, if you will. There are a couple of variations of the machine in the world. This baby's been around and done a lot of bike fits. And essentially, we've got a bottom bracket is the center of your universe, and everything is an XY coordinate up to the handlebar center or the saddle center. So on the machine, there are numbers. So we can determine how far back you are from the BB, how far up you are to this position here. And this moves.
See?
So when I get somebody up in space, we're taking you away from the thing that you know, your bike. So I might have your bike here, and I might mimic your existing setup, but then I'm going to challenge you of, are you better here? Can you rotate your pelvis? Can you offload that weight? Is it better? So both columns move up and down. I can use a drill.
Goes down.
Or you're way too low.
Stop. See, I got it already. See.
Good eye. Or when we get into the finer points at the end of the fitting, we can go, put
more subtle changes.
Maybe 3 millimeters up, right? And I want to be able to guide that person to a point where they do feel the difference and what it's doing to their body, where their compensation happens. It might be coming from the foot. We can change the crank arm length. This is an adjustable length.
And we go from 130 to
130 to 185.
Who rides 185? Who rides 130?
So that's funny you bring that up.
Who rides 130?
So I would say I've done a lot of 155s the past, 10 years. And it doesn't matter how tall or small you are. It depends on where you're sitting. Let's say that the 6-foot guy with the 155s was a triathlete. So he's sitting very far forward and very steep. So it's all about the hip angle.
I think it's called tipping.
Correct. Tipping points.
So let's push this one a little bit back this way.
So in the front end,
we want to eventually see this one. Okay, guys, we'll see this one.
So I have a number of different handlebars set up with various shifters. I'm not too stuck on it has to be this shifter because that's what you ride. It's just a point in space for me. Mm-hmm. So at the end of a fitting, I'll take a measurement from the saddle tip to the hook where the webbing of your hand hits. So then I have a measurement that I can work backwards from this position or the handlebar center to here to figure out what stem length or stem angle you would need or need to change to.
Gotcha,
right?
Gotcha.
So being able to mark and measure, work backwards with some calculators, I can predict if a bike is going to work for you that you haven't bought yet, or the bike that you have.
And we all have those bikes, trust me. We haven't bought this yet.
Which N+1 should you buy?
Exactly.
Right? So you should buy this one in this size, or that brand is not the best fit for you for whatever reason. It's become more and more important to understand that reason because of hydraulics and proprietary front ends, where you don't have the ability to change the angle on the stem. You can't.
So this one goes forward, back and forth because again, there's no stem length
Correct.
here, but you can move this back and forward to
Correct.
compensate for the stem length.
Right. So I have just an Excel sheet that I run a calculator on that goes from this handlebar XY. I can change stem lengths and stem angles to come up with your needs for frame.
And I can imagine that some people come in that runs like 38 millimeters versus like 44 versus 42.
Correct.
And you have to compensate for all those things factor into bike fitting.
Exactly. And so if we're looking at like, I want to buy this bike, well, what does the stock components come with? If in the fitting we decide like this is a 40, but you really need a 44, the stock bike, and this has happened to me already this month, why does the stock bike come with a 38 and it's a size 56?
It's a new thing. People want to be like this.
But suddenly, it's a carbon bar and suddenly it's a $400 change. So, or is it a traditional clamp-on stem and bar?
Or you can just go to Timo and find something.
go to the service course, pull it out of the box, and just slap it on there.
Yeah.
So it just allows you to be very specific about what's going to help you ride, right? As a tool, like this is going to be you in space, up, down, fore, and aft. I've got to put the bike in your hands, whether it's just moving the shifter up and down the bar, or a different reach, or a different width. So understanding all those dimensions, and then going to the fine print. Once you've scrolled down all the marketing goo on the website, and say, yes, that works, or oh, the crank arm on that is longer than what you are testing at.
Gotcha.
Okay. So now I always like to remind people this isn't a bike. This is a test.
Right. Because this is kind of stationary, kind of like more like
it's very stationary. It's 300 pounds.
More like Zwift.
Yeah.
Do you wax this chain or not? It's a new thing. Everybody walks chains now.
You don't need to wax your chain on a foot bike.
It
never goes outside. Never rains in here. No, that's just your classic old single speed.
This looks much longer than a regular chain.
Well, it's because I've got a load generator in the back here.
Gotcha. So it's really stretched out.
Exactly. So I mean, it's a long device. So it takes up a little bit of room.
This is where the magic happened.
Yeah, the rider is riding, right? So you're pedaling, and I can move this underneath you, and it's kind of like an eye test. Do you like it here? Do you like it here? But I may go back and
can you read that? Can you see that one? Can you see? Oh, I can't see anything. No.
Well, and I think vision is a thing in bike fit. Can you see where you're going? Is the eyewear that you're wearing, the prescription that you're wearing, proper for what you're using it for?
Gotcha.
And I've learned that the hard way, where I guess for a long time, I really couldn't see that street sign as well as I thought.
Yeah, I same thing too. And I wore at the time I was dating somebody, and I put her glasses on. She's my wife now. And I'm like, wait a minute, where did that come from?
It's true. You don't know.
And then I've been wearing glasses since for the past maybe 9 years, and I didn't want any glasses because I thought what I was seeing was fine.
Right.
And
for me, I was always just about to miss my exit on the highway. Didn't bother me from like here to there.
Yeah, me too. But distance, forget
maybe
about
a little squint looking across the L at the the advertising across the L tracks. But on the highway, it was like, oh, that is Dempster. How did I not? It's this. But I'm going 70 miles an hour, so my visual cone and my closing speed weren't matching up.
Yeah. But now we have glasses. I bike in prescription glasses. So, and I have my eye in these glasses. My wife, I'm just saying, and they're not cheap, but I really like design. The frame is like pretty expensive, but I like it.
Let's just say, just like everything else, whether it's a spoke or a helmet, eyewear is a safety device, right? See where you're going, literally. Keep the bugs out, which somehow I can't ride half a block without a bug going into my eye if I'm not wearing glasses. UV correction, whatever. So these are all good things.
Which all get factor in putting a bike fitting together, which I would have never even thought about. Right. I said, I literally just go by feel.
And that's not a bad place to start. I think that's where we all start. If it doesn't hurt, I'm good. But again, you get to that Venn diagram, time, distance, heat. If you were to consider riding around Lake Michigan, the Michigami, can you do it in 4 days, 14 hours?
Maybe.
Right? So something in your bike setup might change. Your actual bike, maybe you wouldn't want that super nice carbon bike.
So I rode my friend Patrick gave me this carbon bike, my Mad one, and I rode it 169, 70 miles.
Okay.
Stopped only once.
Okay.
And I was able to complete like in 10 hours by myself.
Sure.
And I had no issues on the bike.
Nice.
Oh my God.
A little tired the next day?
I would after beer and some pizza, I was actually good.
Beer and pizza.
Beer and pizza. After that, I went to the campground. I met my wife and kids.
Okay.
All I said was, I need beer.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's good for you. It's clean water, and
I was good
for your gut health.
Yeah, I mean, after putting all these miles and stuff, and I think if I stay at zone 2, I can bike for a very long time.
That's true, but if you're suddenly asked to do zone 3, your eyeballs are going to fall out.
Yeah, but I don't. As I was telling my friend Andrew, until like, if I have to be biking at zone 3, zone 4, it hurts. I'm doing it wrong because I'm not a pro, man. That's when I enjoy myself on my bike and go around town and have a good time.
Exactly.
Zone 3, zone 4 for me, it's pointless.
Well, and there's some arguments about that.
For me, because
junk miles.
Yeah,
right?
That's not fun, man. I'm at a point.
Sure.
I'm an old.
That's why we're all doing it.
Yeah.
But I find that some people, they don't ride as much as they want to. They'll come up with an excuse, but not realizing that my butt hurts or something worse hurts. It's really painful. And so that's where we want to get the word out to not put up with that.
Yeah.
If you're constantly having to shake your hand out.
Yeah, I'm so fortunate. I'm not doing that stuff as yet.
Or people think it's part of the sport that my feet go numb. No, that's not part of the sport.
Well, my feet go numb when I go on bike in 20 degrees, which I stopped doing. I'm like, fingers, can't feel my fingers.
Right.
Even heated glove, heated socks. I was like, no.
Right.
I'll just stay inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm going back up on the seat.
Go back to the normal seat.
Going back to the normal seat now. So I'm going to.
So that's the machine. We can change out saddles. We can change out handlebars. We can change out crank arm links. Put whatever pedals you want in. I do a lot more work with shoe, cleat, pedal.
So you do shoe, cleat, and pedal. You also do all those things.
Shoe, cleat, pedal, foot. We can do some foot analysis. I do a custom footbed. We do a little video analysis. We do a crush box foam casting that goes up to the lab up in Wisconsin, and then it's made to fit in your shoe. It's a lot of fun.
All those things.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's not necessarily for somebody who wants to, feel better, but sometimes people have certain injury.
Oh yeah.
And then you have to help those people out.
Oh yeah.
To get back on the bike.
Yeah. And I think I learned the most about injuries from triathletes.
Because they got really bad bike handling skill. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm a child. I'm kidding.
No, it's because they
try
run.
Bike, I'm kidding.
It's because they run.
Oh.
The quickest way to injure yourself running is by running. So everything from broken feet, broken toes, knee pains, hip, lower back, labrum tears, everything but the upper body, right? Well, even some upper body stuff, they can get injured from swimming, right? So, and the amount of training that they're doing. They're doing 3 sports. They're not cyclists. So cyclists, right, we wake up late, we have a coffee, we go for a ride, we stop for a coffee. It's hot today. We ride back easy, small chain ring, town line sprint. And then we go home, we take a shower, take a nap, and then we watch the tour.
Two right? Town line sprint, two.
Right. Tower Road. But triathletes, they get up at 4, they go for a swim, then they come home and then they have breakfast.
Then they go for a bike.
Then they go for a run, and then maybe they have to go to work, or they have kids or laundry. And then they do I've known triathletes, doing their bike workout at 9:00 at night.
So did you see? I just featured Andrew Starkowitz.
Yeah.
He's the first American to break 8 hours in Ironman, and one of the first person to bike 112 miles in under 4 hours in an Ironman.
He's a monster.
28.5 miles for 112 miles. What?
And so there are beautiful freaks of whatever genetic gifts we have. We all have different genetic gifts.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing wrong with you when you come to a bike fit. Everything's great. Let's just change your mind about that, right? Maybe let's put this in this position. Can you come to that in a different way? What's your relationship to that thing underneath you, right? So some of that educational process it's not a self-flagellatory sport, right? Andrew, that was a walk in the park for him. That's just part of his job.
Yeah, he's built different.
Mentally
and physically.
Right? Yeah. And then you run a marathon. So what? That's crazy. But everybody's different. And very few of us are pros. And I've only fit like 4 pros ever.
I was just about to ask you, like, what's one of the most famous, if I don't know if there's a HIPAA violation, if you can disclose, but who's the most famous person you ever fitted here? But you think like, oh, wow.
The most famous person I ever fit was Bobby Rahal.
I don't even know what that person
is.
He's
an IndyCar driver.
Hey, you're into
He was really interesting. He's an Ohio guy.
Did you fit him for his bike or for his car?
No, for his bike. Yeah. But, his life in the car, we're talking about compressional forces, he's taking 6 or 7 Gs.
Yeah.
So he comes out 4 inches shorter every race. And always turning, if it's Indy, he's always turning to the left. So what do you think he's got issues with? Right? When I met him, I don't think he was racing anymore, but it was probably 2013. But he was one of the first race car drivers to really think about their physical body and working out, and not just hanging out with the babes in the bar and drinking beer and
But that's the way of life. That's
racing cars. And his son was the same way. So, people, they spend the least amount of their life on a bike if they're not a pro. It's what they spend most of their life doing affects them when they get on the bike. So I've had, UPS drivers or guys that drive a clutch. They've got some hip issues. Why is that? Well, because they're always changing. Right. Or the accountant who is always looking at the list here and typing over here, like my neck hurts. So I have a really big list of referrals of I can help you, but you need to go see Sarah. You need to go see Dr. Sarah Rice, hint, hint, to fix your body. That's a physical therapy issue. I'm not a clinician. I know really good people, to fix that or to get a standing desk has been a big
all about ergonomics, right?
Yeah. Your work-life ergonomics. If you're on your feet all day, maybe you shouldn't wear those shoes, people in work boots and things like that. So ex-football, Division I football players, so you have to accept that person as they are when they come to a bike fit, and you can't force them into a position. We're trying to get them to learn how to use their body the best that they can. They know what they need to work on. Right? I got to lose 50 pounds. I know you are, right? I've seen it happen, right? Well, this is where you need to be now. You lose 10 pounds, talk to me. You lose 20 pounds. Oh, now we're going to lower that stem. We're going to drop a spacer or something, right? Your range of motion is improved. So that person's body is going to change over time. And the bike should too, or N+1.
N plus many ones.
N+1. And I just had, this is sort of the leftovers of my fit from Saturday. I had sold her a bike in, 2016, her first adult road bike, an aluminum, probably 9-speed or something. Now she's going to treat herself and get
a 12 speed.
Yeah,
VI2
axis, electronic shifting, full carbon bike, blah blah blah. And I said, well, let's get back together. Haven't seen you in a while. Well, yeah, seat height's a little different, saddle's different, handlebar went up 2 centimeters, right? Because she's that many years older, right? So your body changes.
Yeah, she can't be that error, so she has to tip her a little bit so she can have better posture. Wow.
Right. So and that person I know, right? So there's people that have come back to me, 10 years or more, because or less. Like I'm getting another new bike.
So
How many bikes do you have?
So my answer to that question is yes. How many bikes I have?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. I used to have 5. Now I only have like 1.5.
So you still do biking and
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't raced since like, I don't know, 2009, 2010. But I still do events, mostly gravel right now. I have just a gravel bike that kind of does everything. I have a bike that still lives in the Netherlands because we used to go over there quite frequently and ride that bike. I need to bring it home, I think. But yeah.
So you have like family in the Netherlands or just
Friends and colleagues and adopted bike shops.
Gotcha.
You go over there, and I said, you've got to travel. Get out of Chicago. Go to other places to ride. Go to other bike shops. See how it's done. Especially, been to France, Belgium. I love.
You've ridden in Belgium?
Oh yeah,
France?
oh yeah. I've done the Ronde van Vlaanderen tourist ride like 3 times. Which was the first year I did it. Wow, 20,000 people.
People showed up for it, right?
Yeah, and it's the race weekend for the Ronde, so it's like the Super Bowl and Mardi Gras rolled together
in one block. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. There are already thousands of people on the side of the road because it's set up for the race already. So there's people already camped out on the side of the road, on the side of the Quaremont, on the the Kapelmuur. You go through these towns, and it's the history of the event. It's 100 years old. My grandfather rode this race. Now I'm riding this event. And it's such a different culture, and they're more than excited to see Americans, riding over in Belgium. And it's just a blast. The food is fantastic. The people are wonderful, and the cobbles are something else.
Wow!
I mean,
and you get to experience all that stuff.
You gotta go
one day when I'm an empty nester, because our youngest is 7 now. So can't
take them with you.
I don't want to take my kids around. That's with me and my wife because we got together.
Oh, yeah.
It was like bang bang bang, and now we want to just like now we're
when he's
so when she's youngest, and it's time for me and my wife start doing things now, because we didn't want to have kids when you're much older, so we want to get them early so we can actually spend time together, and we're getting up there now. I'm an old man now, so
oh man,
yeah, my son like the old man is upstairs. I'm like, come on, man. But it is what it is. So I would love to travel and experience some things with my wife because she's a cyclist too. Yeah, she did Ironman in Wisconsin and all the cool stuff. She's a super athlete, so she's about my height. So
yeah. And like we were talking earlier, so many people go out to Arizona. It's warm, but it's beautiful.
Everybody's there now. Again, Evolution, Indigo. Yep. Who else is there? OK Cycling.
Triple X.
Everybody's here.
Everybody.
But I'm here with my kids. With you guys. I would love to go with those, but I can't. And work is not stopping me. I can do
grandparents dump them off.
They're far away, and because you have school and it's like that's what I'm saying. We need to
boarding school. I
know, right? Empty nesters. Older, we can ship them to boarding school because I really want my kids to maybe go to Jamaica in like a year or so in high school in Jamaica, so they can experience the culture. Yeah. Because sometimes I say to my kids, they're like, "That makes no sense." I'm like, "Well, if you were a Jamaican, you understand what I'm saying. If you grew up in Jamaica, you understand
totally."
So let's see if it's even 1 year to go to high school in Jamaica, let's experience it. Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, I never traveled growing up. 3 kids, my parents, we weren't rich or whatever. Like the most exciting thing we would do would be go down to my grandparents' farm. My brothers would help pull in the tobacco and the hay. Oh, wow. I would go, into the garden, help pull the vegetables for dinner, and go get the eggs from the chickens. That was our vacation.
And now there's like I see people now trying to have their own gardens and stuff now and going back to getting eggs. My wife's brother, he does his own eggs. When people are fighting for eggs, we just get like eggs for free.
Yeah.
Just go home, and he's like, "Oh, take like 10 dozen eggs back
That's
in
true.
Chicago."
Oh, you got too many.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, wow. So you grew up in a nice little farming land area.
Well, I grew up in Cincinnati, and then my mother's side are all from just straight south in Kentucky.
So you're a fan of the football team, yeah?
Of which
The Bengals, right?
Bengals? Nah, not much of a football person. Baseball, the Reds, the big Reds. Yeah, we grew up in the '70s with the Reds. Johnny Bench,
I'm a
Pete
football.
Rose.
I'm a football fan of whatever state I'm in.
Oh, okay.
I was Dallas.
Okay,
I was Dolphins, and now I'm the Bears.
that's fine.
I gotta rep my city, man. I gotta rep my city.
I understand.
That's
Yeah.
And I came here and I fell in love with the Colts when I was in Dallas.
Oh,
But then I'm like, no, I have to go to home team. So
yeah, that's a.
and then when I was growing up, there was no such thing as football in Jamaica. They did not that.
Well, that's true.
We had soccer,
It's
which is what
very
we call football.
yeah. American football is very exotic for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I know the rules and everything, so now
Yeah,
I'm into
okay.
it a little bit. But Chicago Bears, that's where it's at.
All right, I believe you. The Bears.
The Bears. Plus, I know some of the people who own the Bears and stuff. So
Oh, well, that's nice.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I went to the game, the Lions game,
Okay.
and I get to go on the field. That was pretty cool. I was actually on the
Oh,
field.
yeah, see, that's cool.
I'm like, those guys look small on TV. When they go next to me, like, wait a minute,
Yeah, that's huge.
they're like 6'3", 6'4", 6'10". I'm like, what these guys are
I think my brothers were both really into baseball, and our next door neighbor worked for P&G, and he was always getting like extra tickets. They were in the nosebleed section, but we didn't care, so we would go see the Reds. You know,
I used to go to the baseball game in Dallas, with Arlington, and it was never about the game. We go to have fun and watch the
Peanut Man,
exactly,
the hot
and watch those
dog.
things racing on the camera
Exactly.
and all the interactive stuff.
Exactly.
And, oh, there's a game.
And
there's
like
a
way
game.
down there, there's a
Like, oh, there's a
game.
game.
Like, what? I think he hit the ball.
Oh my god!
And then like you get to get the special lunch on the way home, or you know what I mean? Like, oh, we get milkshakes.
Well, I was in college.
Okay.
So back then we would end up going to like some random place. Oh, we'll go to the Golden Corral or something. I mean, the Golden Corral.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's very American.
My
right
my
there.
college days, that was like the coolest thing back then.
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral was like,
Yeah, would you go back
you say-
now to the Golden Corral?
why not? You know,
Okay.
I mean, I'll go back just experience again. Like when I was in Dallas, and I told my friend, hey, we're gonna go here, and I want to go to this one place. We can go anywhere else, but I want to go to this one place for breakfast because I miss this place, and I went to the Waffle House. I was like, I don't care.
And
Yes,
it's
we can go wherever, but I'm like,
nostalgia,
no,
yeah.
I want to go to the Waffle House. Let's find a Waffle House.
Right.
I want to go there. I want to watch them make my food. I want to
Yes.
smell everything. And
Yeah, it's part of it.
I want to stand in line. And I want to wait to get my seat. And
Right.
of course, we can go anywhere else. But I just wanted, because I've never seen a Waffle House since I've been here in forever.
Not really in Chicago.
Exactly.
We have a different thing.
Exactly.
You know.
But I remember Waffle House from growing up in Dallas, man. I was like,
Right.
that's what I wanted to do.
Not the one at that exit, the one at the other exit, right? It
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
very specific.
Yeah. Oh my God. So you say you still bike around. So where's some place you bike here when you go for a bike ride? Lake Path, or you go up north still? Or?
So I live up in Rogers Park, so I tend to just scoot up through.
We live
Evanston.
close to each other, by the way. We live less
That's
than
true.
2 miles away from each other. We just found
It's
out.
crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's like, gosh, I know every crack in the pavement on Sheridan Road, right, to Lake Bluff, to it's just so I know this.
Yeah, like when
It's the same pothole that's been there for 30 years.
if it's me and a friend, like one or two people riding, like, bro, you don't have to call the signals for the pothole. I know they are. Just
Isn't that
right.
true?
That's right. I know what they are.
I have.
That's
If
right.
I have a rule, is I try to not repeat the street I'm on. So I have a couple of loops, and I have a way to go west and go north and then come back down. So it kind of depends on which way the wind is blowing, right?
Yeah.
And obviously there's
It will make a big difference.
3 months out of the year that you have to go south because the wind is coming out of the southwest. But then it's like the bike path is the most dangerous place in the world to ride a bike. So that's out. But I mean, you end up just taking like MLK or State Street all the way down, or Halstead Street all the way down. Gosh, you can go to Joliet on Route 1 for that matter.
You actually went down to Joliet?
Not quite that far, but Halstead, it's the longest street in the world.
Did not know that.
I believe that's true. Halstead, which is also Route 1, turns into Route 1 when you get past 160th Street or 159th. Can't remember. And it has a little bit of a fade and heads towards Joliet.
Gotcha.
So there would be 1 or 2 days out of the year, usually in August, you would just do that insanely long ride. I think my longest ever was 110 on my own, right? Like you. And the southwest wind, I guess I'm going south. And I can't remember. I think Lakefront Path and then Indianapolis Boulevard, and I kept going and and wind. Whoa.
We're on the way back.
Turn around, I was like,
yeah.
Woo!
That's
And that's the best feeling.
Of course, you. I mean, I have many friends every year where if the wind is from the south, they will ride their bike from Chicago to Milwaukee to the train back.
Oh yeah,
Take the train back. All the way.
Take the train back.
Take the train back. That's every year they do it.
Well,
some people go up and back and forth like 160 miles or so, which I want to do.
There were a couple times where friends, when we were young and stupid, friends of mine and I, we would try to do.
I am not young, but I'm still stupid.
Yeah, we would do that Sheridan Road grind, and it wouldn't even be like, we're not going to Milwaukee today, but it would be like
Racine.
Yeah, maybe Racine, but it'd be like
Kenosha.
One time, the wind changed direction on us.
I had some friends who
we had a headwind both ways.
Yes, so I think.
And then the other time it snowed on us.
I think some friends of mine from Evanston Bike Club once, they rode to Wisconsin. No, they rode to Milwaukee up in the area so they could actually get tailwind to get back when the wind changed direction.
Oh,
so they had headwind both directions.
It's brutal.
Oh
it's brutal, and I've never experienced that wind that knows which way you're going.
Yeah.
Anywhere else.
So my rule is, if the wind direction is 2 letters, northwest, southwest, blah, blah, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
If it says 3 letters, I'm like, I am not going out because I don't know where it's coming from.
If it's west, southeast, you're whatever, just really,
that's because you could go any direction and it's going to be headwind. So three letters, I'm like, yeah.
That's why, I don't, if it's climate change or whatever, I've been, trying to get that west route in a lot more in the past 10 years.
Yeah, I find a lot that the wind typically come from the west a little bit. It's almost always like southwest or west or
right. But now you get that northeast, and like, what do? It's like it's always like a 11 o'clock.
Always.
It's not almost a tailwind, but it's not a headwind. Ugh.
That's where a group ride makes life a lot better. A nice group, and you can always, stay in, let a little bit of an echelon. This strong rider do their thing, and you just like stay in the draft.
Yep.
Get a rotation.
Some big guy up front, like Kevin Carter. Hey, Kevin. Or RT Stewart.
Oh yeah.
Get behind RT. Everything's good.
Those are all my peoples.
Those are my people too.
What's the name of the guy that when I met you at Intelli last time? You were with him. He's a Major Taylor guy. I think he's the current president now. I think he's the current.
Bill
president.
Gaston.
Was it Bill?
Yeah.
African American guy.
Well, there's Moulebois.
When I met you, you're not for the first. Yeah, you just walked up with this guy. And he was talking to my wife because he's a coach, and he coached some girl that just broke my wife's high jumping record. I forgot his name. You were with him when I saw you.
I can't remember.
I'll remember afterwards.
Not Austin.
Was it Austin?
Well, Austin's not a. I mean, he's been part of Major Taylor, but he has not been like the president.
The guy I think he is the president now, I think.
Well, I think Bill is now, but
yeah, maybe.
All right, write it in the chat.
We'll remember.
Who's in charge?
Eventually.
Who's in charge?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we've been chatting to learn about you. I mean, I didn't know all these things about you and how the bike fitting process work. you were in theater. You have like two cats. They're inspired by NASCAR racing. No,
Formula One.
Formula One, F1, Michael Schumacher kind of thing, right?
Ayrton Senna.
Yeah. So anything you want to leave us with as we, like what keeps you going and how to tell people to take care of themselves and all the good stuff.
I love doing what I'm doing. I love helping people ride bikes more and more comfortably. And that's what's given me a lot of joy, and it's given me a lot of things in my life. It gave me my husband. It gave me a second career. Gave me a vast array of friends and colleagues that we still keep in touch. 20 years on. So that's what I do. I'm so glad you came today.
Thank you. And Nicole, you came out and we learned a lot about you today. And thank you so much for sitting there and chatting.
My pleasure.
Yeah, guys, it's been fantastic. And again, if you're not feeling comfortable by guys, please come and check out Anne. She's here, Miss Barnes. She's not Dr. Sarah Rice, but she's Anne Barnes, as she said before, remember? And of course,
AB
Sarah.
Bike Fit
Sarah, we love you so much. Thank you for everything you've been doing so far. Inspiring us with all your stuff you do. You're like a different level. There's like human beings, and then there is Sarah. So that's
very true.
legit. That's legit.
Awesome.
So guys, thank you for watching again, guys. We'll keep it going. I know we have Annie. If you need a bike fitting, check her out. 700 Green Street.
AB Bike Fit at gmail.com.
AB Bike Fit.
Let's set up a time to meet.
Let's do it. Okay, guys? She's here. She's going to take care of you. And I guarantee you,
we'll have fun.
You're going to hear about her. I've heard about her. She's the person to come to, guys. So again, keep the miles and smiles going.